Hi everyone, my name is Eve Anastasia, whatever you want to call me, and I'm starting YouTube again. I do want to kind of give a brief explanation to why I'm starting again, but to those of you who don't care, who don't know who I am, who don't remember me, which is probably most of you, just skip to this time on the screen, I'll put it somewhere. Yeah, so as we're in quarantine, I'm watching like a lot more YouTube than I did. I go through stages where I'm really off YouTube and on YouTube, just like content in general, and I just get really uninspired. Since we're in quarantine, I've just been like watching a lot of YouTube and then also watching my videos, and I was like, I kind of miss it. And I really enjoy making YouTube videos, but I really hate editing them. It's just a long process. But yeah, so that's a brief explanation to why I'm back. Right, so the video today is recreating James Charles's makeup look for the finale, I believe, of Instant Influencer. And by the way, I am not the biggest fan of James Charles. Like, I appreciate him, but it's not a person that I constantly watch. But Instant Influencer, bang, like that was a sick show and such like a cool idea, and his makeup look in the finale was so sick, and I haven't seen anyone recreate it, so that's kind of what I want to do today. So I'm gonna stop rambling now and just get on with doing my makeup. Right, so I'm gonna start with primer. I just got a new one of this because I ran out of 2 bottles already. I got this because of Jeffree Star. It is an amazing primer. It's the vitamin enriched face base. Also, throughout this video, like, I will mention products and stuff, but I'll mostly talk about the show because I feel like that would be more interesting than talking about the makeup. Right, so after that I'm going to take a foundation, and this is the first time I've ever ordered foundations online, but these 2 foundations, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation and the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation, have been like what I've wanted to have for so many years, and I legit don't know why I never bought them. But I matched myself online, which is why I never order foundations online. Like, it seems like such a risky thing to do, and I'm really not a person to return stuff. I hate returning stuff. So I think I'm gonna go ahead with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. That seems like a better match for me right now. This seems a bit dark. I just clocked that I wiped my fucking primer away. I always, like, always do my eyes first. That's kind of like a staple for me, my eyes, my eyebrows first. But we're recreating James Charles's look and he never does that. And also, because his eye look extends all the way onto here, I feel like I need to have my base on first, so that's why I'm using my foundation before anything else. I love that foundation. It gives me coverage where I want coverage, but this is one of the only foundations that really doesn't cover my freckles, and I love that. I feel like you can't see my freckles on camera, but yeah. I'm gonna go and do my eyebrows off camera. Right, so I am back. I've done my brows. I don't know how I feel about them. I haven't done makeup in a very long time. Like, I've wanted to do it for like the whole of quarantine, but I've been getting busy. I'm just like, well, what's the point? So I'm kind of out of practice, but I think they look fine. Right, so next I'm gonna conceal with the Laura Mercier concealer. Okay, so whilst I'm blending this out, I kind of want to talk about the show a little bit. As I said before, I'm not like a massive fan of James Charles. Like, I like him, but it's not like I binge his videos type of thing. When this came out, I was like so intrigued. Like, I thought it was such a sick idea. It's so cool of him to not, I don't know if YouTube Premium still exists, but if it does, it's so like nice of him to like do it for free. Because I remember when YouTube Premium just started like happening and you had to like pay for all these shows, and I know it sounds like very like I know a lot of money goes into making them, but I don't know, I feel like YouTube has always been like a free platform, and I don't know, YouTube Premium kind of always annoyed me a little bit. And by the way, I'm about to like put some spoilers here, so if you haven't watched the show, go watch it before watching this video. But yeah, I had my favorites from the start. So my favorites were Kaylin and Ashley, and they were both in the final, and Ashley won. I'll put their pictures here if you don't know who I'm talking about. And also, like, I understand Kaylin when it comes to time. I hope I'm saying her name right, I really don't remember. When it comes to time, like, she's like, oh, my biggest weakness is time. But to have a limit of 3 hours to make a video is like insane to me, so I completely understand her. And I think even for one of the challenges they had 1 hour, and that is crazy. Like, I'm already 20 minutes into making this video, and editing alone will take me about 3 hours, if not more. It's insane to me. Like, I understand why they had to do it, because like obviously if they had the whole day to make them, it kind of, I don't know, just would make for some bad footage, I think, and like decrease the drama, which is meant to be like a key part of the show. How can some people finish in that time? And actually my friend Yaz, she makes YouTube videos like really quickly, like she's able to get it done fast. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and bake, and look, this could like turn out really bad because I never bake because my skin is extremely dry. I always stay away from it. It's not a good idea for my skin because it legit like turns into crocodile skin. But I know James Charles likes to bake and this look is very matte, so I'm just gonna do it. So I'm taking the Fenty powder in butter. So I'm gonna bronze very slightly because our bronzer will kind of become our eyeshadow, but I kind of want to have a base for it to actually blend into my face and not look like really patchy. So I'm just going to take this Hot Makeup bronzer and I'm just going to bronze my face. By the way, I'm also well aware that this is way too warm and tanned for me at the moment, but as I said, we're going to turn this basically orange later, so it doesn't really matter. I'm actually really gonna concentrate the bronzer on my temples here because we're gonna have a lot of our eyeshadow going into here. I always kind of blend the bronzer like into my ears because I feel like there's always like a line there. Like even if you blend your foundation into that, I feel like there's always a line with bronzer. Okay, well for the moment I'm gonna leave it there, but I never contour my nose because I just don't feel the need to, but I always feel like without bronzing my nose, just going over it, this part of my face is way too white compared to the rest, so I just always sort of bronze my nose like this. Right, so I feel like I'm gonna move on from the face to the eyes, and I'm not going to zoom you guys in, but if you would prefer that for the next video, please let me know. I also just love the idea of the show. Like, I know it's not original, it's just original in YouTube terms. Like, there's so many TV shows like that, like, I don't know, X Factor and stuff like that. But I just love the idea of like supporting basically small channels, because YouTube is such a big industry. Like, there's probably billions of creators. I know there's definitely millions, I don't know if there's billions, but like it's an industry that's really hard to come up in. And I just think how James Charles is using his platform not just to like shout channels out, because that would be ridiculous to do, but to like create a competition for like influencers to fight for their place in the industry is so sick. So I'm looking at the makeup look and I kind of see what I need to follow. It actually has a bit of red on the eye, which I did not notice before. First and foremost, I'm just going to start with a transition shade, which take any transition shade because I feel like I'm not going to use much of this palette after this, but I'm using the Lara Pro, the bakery box, and I'm just going to use the shade Cheesecake just to get a nice transition in the crease. So fitting in with the show, I'm going to use the ABH Novena Collection palette. Again, use any shades you want, but I mean this is quite fitting and I see a couple of shades from here that I can use. So I'm going to start with taking E2, which is a bright orange, and I'm going to place that everywhere but really focusing it on the inner part of my eye. This is a lot more like red, like that's really red, that's not orange, but we will correct that. And to be honest, his eye look is actually quite red, like very washed out red, but it's actually quite red. So to warm up that shade a little bit and make it a bit more orange, I'm gonna take this shade from Zulu by Juvia's Place. Yeah, I think that's making it a bit more orange, which is what we want. I mean, obviously I think he probably used his palette for this look, but I do not have the James Charles palette, so I cannot use it, so I just have to like work with what I got really. So I was planning to do this look like as soon as the finale came out, but I was just waiting on some of the stuff for my setup, and I'm sure like so many people have fallen in love with that look. I'll be so bummed out if James Charles like now goes to post this look on his YouTube, because people would ask him to. That would completely defeat the point of my video, but you know, whatever. So now I'm going to take a bit of a denser brush, and I kind of want to take this corally shade, which is E4, and I want to place this closer, like right in the crease. Alright, so he has just a tiny bit more depth in the corner of his eye, like in the outer V. So I'm actually going to take the D3 colour in this palette, just because it's just a bit more of a burgundy red, and I'm just very slightly just putting it on the outer corner and blending it in just to create a tiny bit more depth. I don't think that anyone was eliminated unfairly. I don't know if people do think that. I mean, they probably do. Everyone has different favourites, and I mean, everyone is obviously rooting for their favourites whenever they watch any show. I'm not sure if James Charles has talked about this at all. I'm very excited to see when the next season is going to be. Obviously right now it's completely unpredictable, but I mean, as far as I know, it was a massive success, so hopefully sometime next year we should get another season. Okay, so from looking at a picture, he doesn't really have anything going on in the lid, and honestly, like, I smoked this out a bit too much, but I think I have a tiny bit more lid space than him, like out wide, so it kind of looks a bit more dramatic. But I'm gonna take a very neutral shade on the lid, because that is what I can see he has going on. So what I'm gonna take is Butter Pecan from the Laura Pro palette. You also can't really see his lid because he has quite big lashes on. So yeah, that's kind of it for the lid. Like, that's all I can see, just like nothing basically. Next, I'm going to take a tiny bit of my concealer and just conceal my inner corner a little bit, because we're going to put on a bright yellow shade there. I'm going to put it on the inner corner and then just blend it up a tiny bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the yellow shade. Okay, I think I'm gonna use a mix of the yellow shade in here, which is D1, but it looks kind of mustardy to me, so I'm also gonna use some of the yellow from the Juvia's Place, but that looks too warm. Yeah, so I'm gonna just mix them up and put them on my inner corner. Alright, so this is looking a bit too dark, so I'm just gonna take a pure white shade and sort of layer it with the yellow. See how that looks just so much brighter, and basically all I did was mix it in with the white shade. And now what I'm going to do is take that yellow shade and basically just blend it on from the inner corner to about here, just to make this a bit more orange over here. Because if you put orange on top of here, it's not really going to do much, but the yellow is going to mix with the red and give you a orangey shade. Okay, so moving on to the lower lash line, I am gonna do mostly this shade on the lower lash line mixed with the orange shade from Juvia's Place. Okay, so I'm gonna go off and put some lashes on. By the way, little side note, I always have lash extensions on. For like 3 years now, I've had my lash extensions on constantly, so I don't really wear lashes, but my lash technician has basically done a strip lash herself, and I'm gonna put those on. Right, so I'm back, and again, as I said, I do not apply fake lashes, but I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, so also I just noticed that he has a tiny bit of sheen on his inner corner, so I'm going to take this NARS highlighter in Albatross, which looks very white but it leans yellow. So what I'm going to do is take my inner corner highlighter brush and I'm just going to apply this highlighter just at the very tip of the inner corner, so not covering all the yellow. Cool. Well, I think that's it with the eyes. So I guess we'll move on to the face. And the face is actually extremely simple. It's legit just bronzing with colour. What he does is takes the orange shade, and I'm going to use the orange shade from the Zulu palette. And I'm going to use a small microfiber brush like this to blend everything out. So first I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to mainly focus it in my T-zone over here. So take it away from my eye, and you want to do this in small steps because again, you do not want to look blotchy. And then I'm going to take that same shade and start building it down here where you would usually put your bronzer. And you should focus this orange shade on the very down part and the very inner part, because actually yellow comes into this as well. And then from the temple, I'm very slightly gonna blend it into my bronzer. And as I said earlier, it's very important to bronze before this, however, whatever order you do this in, because it gives you a very nice base to work with. Otherwise this would just be extremely patchy. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take the same brush, put the yellow shade just above the orange shade. Sorry, I'm just going to wipe this off a bit. And you just basically want to put this right here, kind of where your blush would go. I don't know, there's something like so like pretty about this. Like it kind of like ties in the whole face. And also because it's orange, like it doesn't even look that like weird or I don't know, like different. Like this looks quite natural in a way. Right, so he has quite a yellowy white highlight on, so what we're going to do is take the same NARS highlight that we used to highlight this bit. So I'm going to take some product on the brush, spray the brush, and then take a bit more product again and then just highlight the high areas of this. And because you want to take a yellow toned highlighter, otherwise it will clash. I just kind of want to see where he highlights, because again I don't want to highlight too much. So he highlights the brow bone, so we're going to take our little highlighter brush and just highlight in there. And again, see, because it's yellow, it just goes in, like it does not clash. So I'm gonna go onto the lips and I'm gonna find a lip color that suits this, that he chose. Okay, so that took me so long. He has like a browny, like really warm brown pink shade on, and I really don't have those shades because I personally don't think they suit my lips too much because my lips are really small. Also, are his lips real? Like, I don't know that. If they are real, he's extremely blessed. Anyway, so I'm going to take the closest thing that I found to it and I'll warm this up with a gloss. So this is the Suede Liquid Lipstick by NYX. Right, so as we can see, I cannot apply lipstick on full ship. I'm going to top this up with the Estee Lauder Lip Gloss in 105. I think this will warm it up a little bit. This smells so good, what the fuck. I think we're pretty much done, so what I'm gonna do is set the face. Right, so I'm gonna get changed, wait for this to dry, and I'll be back for the outro. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun making it. I honestly think this is one of the prettiest looks I've ever seen. I thought it was so beautiful when I saw it. And it was actually really fun and really easy to recreate. I know I did kind of like a lot of steps, but really all you need here is eyeshadow blending and knowing how to bronze. Like, that's pretty much all that comes with it. But yeah guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, I'm very excited to make more videos, and if you want to follow me on any social medias, on the Instagram actually, I'll leave that down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!